Right, so everybody, Matt Fryer here. Thanks for joining me down at Warrington Golf Club, and today we're going to look at how important your posture is in your backswing. So if you are new to the channel, this is one of your first videos, do make sure you hit that subscriber button because I've got videos to make you a better golfer coming out all the time and totally for free. So how important is the posture in our backswing and how we actually create our backswing? Because impact's obviously the most important. What happens down there is critical. But what I tend to see from quite a few of my lessons is they're trying to recorrect on the downswing what they didn't do in the backswing, or have to make a manipulation because of something that's happened in the backswing down into transition into impact. And what I'm talking about here is how we keep our posture and actually how we work our body in our backswing. So the first point what we're going to look at is how we actually keep our posture in our backswing, because posture and is very, very linked towards impact. It is two big factors it has a massive fact on. Number one, our angle of attack, so how much we're coming down on the golf ball or up on it, and also it's going to affect our strike location, i.e. are we getting it out of the top of the ball, are we getting the bottom of the club, the top of the club, or the middle of the club? And I can bet my bottom dollar there are people sat watching this video now who suffer with tops with their irons, thins with their irons, and really heavy fat shots with their irons, and also do the same thing with a wood. So what do we mean by keeping the posture in our backswing? So once I've taken my setup here now, I've got good angles in my body. You can see that I've bent from my pelvis, my glutes have gone back a bit, and I've got a slight softening of the knees. I'm not sat down with a really straight back. So once I've created this good posture now, what I'd like to see would be something where I try and keep that, because what the big problem is at the moment that I'm seeing is when people start their backswing, and you can identify this by this club, all the angles are lost. So as I now stand here, you'll see that this club is horizontal to the floor when ideally it should be tilted. So from here, even if we think if I were to just take my posture now and stand up straight, my club is a good 2 feet above the ball, so there's zero chance of me hitting the ball here. So by me actually making a golf swing where I stand up totally out of it, I'm not going to get down to that ball. I've now got to try and recreate those angles on the way down whilst trying to move the club at speed. Is going to be a tricky job to get it spot on, so the consistency of my strike's really going to be out all the time. I might be someone who creates too much on the way down and buries the club into the ground. I might be someone who's stood up and then I don't quite get enough, and that's where my thin and my top starts to come from. So straight away my angle of attack has really been affected just by me simply standing up and losing all these angles. So what I want you to do, and if you can do this at home or at the range if you've got a mirror, or even on the driving range or on the course, if you were to just make some backswings now with a club across your shoulders like this, what we should see like there is something now where the lead side, my lead elbow here, is now pointing down to the ground, and so is my lead shoulder. We hear the old one of tuck your lead shoulder underneath your chin, so that means that we get here as where that's not underneath my chin. I'm going to feel that I'd make some backswings and see that I'm going to get it turned here. I'm going to get it turned there. So I can now see that there is this angle created in my backswing. So let's move on to the second point now we've covered that posture point. Okay, so point 2. As we can see here now, I've got a club that is directly on my ball line in the middle of my body. So I've got my 7 iron out here, and I'd just like to see that the ball is just fractionally ahead of this this line here. So the left side of the ball, as I look at it, is now in front of this club on the floor. And once we've started to get this good turn away here, what we can now see is still that the middle of my body is directly on top of this cane, because another problem that I'm starting to see a lot of as well is that some people make a good turn like this, but they rock out this way. So all of a sudden now I've gone really far away. So my strike location at the minute is a good foot behind the golf ball. So I've then got to try and counteract that and get back the same amount as I go through this swing. So what I'd then like people to do, like we say, we don't want to see that you're over this way. Even there I've lost my balance as I've done that one. I want to see that you could make your good posture, find it, get your club across your shoulders, make the turn, and if you were to drop your hand down like this and point it straight, we'd see that you'd be pretty much on top of this cane now. So we're nice and centered over the golf ball. I've not gone over this way. If I point my lead hand down too much, I'm well behind it, or vice versa, over this way too much, point my hand down, I'm well in front of the ball. I want to make some swings where I turn, point it, and it's somewhere hovering around near this club as I do that. So if I would be able to make a good turn where I don't lose all my angles, and a good backswing where I stay centered, on the way down now I can just focus on getting the club back on the ball, because I've not got to recorrect all these errors I made in losing my angles and moving about so much. I can start to see that I go, yeah, I'm good, right, get into a good impact now. Yeah, all good, let's go. So have a few rehearsals, and I would suggest you practice with a cane or a club just down there. Leave some room so you're not going to accidentally swing and hit the end of your grip if you are using a club. Make some swings where you have that there, and then just start to clip a few off, and you should see that you get a really good strike. Just like that one. That's the best strike of it in ages. Really solid impact there. So 2 big keys you've got to focus on in your backswing regarding your posture. 1, let's see you're not losing your angles, and 2, let's see you're not swaying from side to side. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, do give that like button a hit for me. Also, do remember, like I said earlier, to subscribe to the channel. Videos coming all the time to make you a better golfer, and I know we all want that, so hit that when you get a minute. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you soon with another one.